It has been quite some time since we have talked about the Oppo Find N5, but we just got a major software release for this device. We are now running Android 16, so I thought it would be fun to check back in with this phone and see exactly what this big update did bring. Now, full transparency here, I literally just installed this, so we're going to be kind of exploring this thing in real time to some degree. Here is the update screen here, ColorOS 16. I will tell you that if you're in the United States, what I did to get this update to install is I went to the beta program up here at the top right, and then I clicked on a button that was right there that said something like view details or something. There was a release candidate available, and that's what I installed. But the version number is the same version number that I saw other people installing, so I'm assuming that we're good to go there. I guess what I should do is I should take a look at this quickly, and I can click on view update notes because man, oh man, is there a ton in this update. The first thing that we're talking about here is their optimization to performance and animations, the luminous rendering engine, and there's a ton of different things to that, but basically they feel like the animations are going to be even smoother than they were before, and I mean, I don't think I have any problems with that. They are very smooth. They were very smooth before also, so I don't really see a huge difference there. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe you guys see a bigger difference than I do, but they are very, very smooth animations, no question. Scrolling down past the animations, we have Oppo AI Mindspace, supports snap to Mindspace on screenshot thumbnails to save content. So basically, they have this thing called Mindspace, which is kind of similar to Pixel screenshots. If you take a screenshot, it's supposed to basically scan it and then use AI to figure out what's going on that screenshot. We'll take a screenshot here and see if we get the animation or anything happening here. Snap to Mindspace, there it is right there. So we're going to allow all, and then let's see, is Mindspace its own application? No. Although I did just notice, we have more suggestions up here at the top in the app drawer, and we also have categories. So that is actually kind of cool. I think I like this. This is a really smart way to sort of categorize your app drawer. Good stuff. Let's jump into the settings and check the AI section. Mindspace seems to be here, and we're going to agree and continue. So maybe you have to actually turn that on. And it added an icon to my home screen. So now I think we can jump in here and see what's going on with this whole Mindspace thing. So we can create collections and sort of categorize our different screenshots. And then we can ask questions that will kind of use those screenshots as context. This looks very much like ChatGPT or like Gemini. So we're on my website here. We'll do the 3-finger swipe down that I remember is a better way to do a screenshot on this phone. We'll snap to Mindspace. Here we go, we're working. A smart way to manage your knowledge and information. Swipe with 3 fingers to quickly save on-screen content such as articles, events, or to-dos. View your content in Mindspace. We're gonna click on Get Started. And I don't see either of the screenshots I have taken inside Mindspace. We're gonna try it one more time. Okay, now we are analyzing. That is what I saw in the sort of announcement video for this version of ColorOS, and it has now been added. Can I tap on that and go into this? Absolutely. Pixel 10 Pro Fold review by Shane Craig. We're giving some AI summaries here, some information about this. And again, like I said, you can ask questions about this screenshot. So let's see what we can do here. Let's ask a question. What is the URL for the Pixel 10 Pro Fold review? In theory, it should be able to grab this, and there it is. So it actually was able to grab that and present that to me. So the idea is that you should be just screenshotting a ton of different things that you kind of want to keep in your mind space. It's like a memory bank for your phone, for your brain. I don't know. You're just going to be saving lots of things, and you can jump into this app and ask it a question, and it's going to remember that stuff better than you're going to be able to. Kind of a cool concept. It looks like we have lots of changes to the photo application as well, some optimizations and so forth. But the thing I want to kind of check out is the AI-powered portrait glow. Now, one cool thing about their Photos app is it can actually link in with your Google Photos account. So I'm seeing the photos from my Google Photos account. So let's click on this edit button and see under AI editor if it will work. This AI portrait glow feature, if this will work on a photo of a dog. Analyzing it in, okay, that was kind of strange. Looking, no portrait recognized, so no dogs are allowed, or at least not this dog. We'll just use a photo of myself, AI portrait glow. Let's try it. We'll just use a photo of myself. We'll try this again, analyzing portrait lighting, finding the ... G solution. Some strange things going on there. Okay, so it has very much brightened my face. You can change the brightness. You can be like really blown out. This looks like a very old photo taken with a very harsh LED flash, but you can kind of raise or lower that. And okay, that's definitely a little bit better. We also have AI Perfect Shot. My understanding is it's very similar to Google's Best Take. Intelligently recognizes faces and fixes closed eyes. To use this feature, make sure that there are sufficient photos of the same person with open eyes. So what we're going to do here is we're going to cancel this. I just took that photo, and let's take a couple more. So I took a bunch of bad photos of myself, and I closed my eyes for one. Let's try this AI Perfect Shot. Let's see if it can see the other photos I just took of myself and swap in the one that had my eyes open. And there you go. That is exactly what it's doing. So it can open up my eyes. It's just swapping out my eyes from the other photos. And I think that is a pretty darn convincing effect. That's the original, and these are the other options. This is basically a version of Google's Best Take. This is actually pretty cool. So this is in their Notes application. They show actually like highlighting a block, like a chunk of the note, and then long pressing it, and then moving that chunk higher up in the note. I really, really like that. And then they're actually going in and changing the formatting as well, changing the font size. I need that kind of stuff inside Google Keep. That's really cool. So much AI stuff. The AI Recorder. The Recorder gets a complete makeover with an optimized UI, smoother interactions, AI-powered noise cancellation for human voices and recordings, smart scenario detection, supports sharing via links, AI-powered calendar. If you don't like the word AI, the term AI, you're not going to like this update. I don't exactly know how they're using AI in the calendar. It doesn't really seem to say. Optimizes the month view with 3 views, integrates to-do items into calendar, adds daily timeline view. I'm not really sure where AI is involved there. AI Translate, AI Writer. Here, let's see what this video looks like here. So, looks like you're in some sort of a note-taking application, and you've got your AI Writer where you're going to type in a prompt, and it's going to generate a whole bunch of text for you extremely rapidly. I think that video is probably sped up, but this is system-wide. So, I think we should be able to test this out. Let's just jump into something like Threads, and we'll see there's AI Writer. It just popped up immediately. Let's click on that, agree and continue. I don't seem to see any way to actually trigger this. Let's try a different application. We'll try Twitter and see if we have the ability to do it here. Okay, so it's popped up there again. That was weird. Let's try it this way. I'm typing some text in, and then I select AI Writer. Is it going to grab that text and then work off of that? That is exactly how it works. Okay, so I was a bit confused there, but that is how that works, and you can change different styles as well. I will say that the scrolling does feel exceptionally smooth. I'm not sure if that's like different from before or not. I really haven't spent a ton of time with this phone here recently, but this does feel really, really smooth. They're talking about this new like design aesthetic, and I'm not seeing like a ton of stuff that's different. I did notice on the lock screen, let me try to do this without Face Unlock working. And this does look very sort of liquid glassy, if I do say so myself. But other things like the quick settings, notification shade, that I think that looks fairly similar to before. Now they do mention the Flux home screen, so I guess you can actually like fully resize these folders into any size or shape, or I guess not any size or shape. You have this, you have this, you have this, and you have this. That's quite cool though. I like the customization there. And that video actually shows resizing like that on just an app icon, but I don't see how that's a thing, at least so far. Let's just put the calendar on this screen as well. Well, let me do it. There we go. We can do it to that one. So you can make like a really big icon, I guess. So if you want to have a giant calendar icon, you can do that. Really quickly, I want to show you something else you can do whenever you are expanding these icons. If I make it larger, you see these little plus buttons. By default, you're just going to be a big icon. But if you long press it again, you can have these plus icons. And what these do, they allow you to map to those things little shortcuts. So how about new event? How about new task? So now you sort of have like a little folder almost, but it's a folder of one app with its shortcuts. Maybe you don't realize you can do this, but if you go onto any application and long press it, you have these shortcuts. So now you can have those shortcuts appended in a little custom folder around that icon. quite a few things here on the home screen. So you can have a textless home screen. You can have up to 5 apps on the home screen's bottom. Oh, you can have another app on the taskbar down here. That's great news. Will it let me just drag the other app down here automatically? Yes, it will. Fantastic. That's really good stuff. Design with light, alive with you. We have these AI-powered flux themes, so I guess we need to try this out too. So this is actually showing like a video on the lock screen, but the video has depth. So let's go and check that out now. Here's some more liquid glassy looking stuff there, wallpaper and style. Let's go over to the lock screen and let's see, is style what we need? Depth, what do we need here? I think that's the wrong way to go about this. Home screen, lock screen, and style flux themes. Okay, this is what we needed. So we're gonna grab this one. That is very, very cool. Let's see if we can actually change the wallpaper. And we'll use this photo of Rose again and see if it's able to do some magic on this. Can it find the depth or anything? This is very, very iPhone-like. So if I move this around, it can indeed do the depth thing just fine. Very, very cool. And then you can add a widget over here to the side also. I have no idea how well this is actually going to work, but we're going to try doing a video. We'll try to get it towards one where he's like at least somewhat like in the same spot maybe. Let's just try that. So that is cool that you have this little video playing on top of your lock screen, but can I do the depth? Okay, so we're identifying the depth of field, and now I'm going to be really impressed if this actually works. There you go. A little bit of depth on that. That is actually really, that is very, very cool. Good stuff, guys. You also do now have the ability to have a full screen always on display. So what does that mean? It means that when your device is locked, it will look like this. Now, keep in mind, it will go fully black shortly after that. But I think if you tap it, yeah, it's going to wake it back up. It's to save battery and so forth. It is going to go dark pretty quickly. I wonder if it's the same way on the cover display. Do we go dark just as quickly there as well? Yep, same thing. So we've got their new touch to share thing, so you can tap the two phones together and send a file. Never going to use that in a million years. The O Plus Connect app supports phone screencasting to PC. Searching files on both your phone and your computer. I haven't tried the O Plus app in a little bit. The last time I did, it was really, really janky. Hopefully it's improved. It says here you can sync your clipboard now, so that's nice. So basically the O Plus Connect application, if you remember using like Microsoft's Phone Link or Link to Windows, it's very similar to that. Oh, this is cool. Notifications and quick settings. Supports more actions when editing quick setting tiles. More tiles now support the 2x1 size. So are we able to resize these things? Is that what we're saying? That was the wrong button. Let's try this one more time. There's the edit button. So are we saying that these things, like if I wanted to make one of these icons, can I resize it? What do they mean? Oh, I can drag it up there. Oh, okay, that's what they're meaning. I can drag it up there and make it be 2x1. Okay, that's cool. I think it's fair to say that ColorOS is already one of the better Android skins around, and I think that this really just makes it better. I really like some of the stuff that they're doing with the home screen stuff, being able to like fully change the size and shape of your folders. I really like the idea of making an app icon larger and then attaching those shortcuts to it as well. There are still some things that I don't necessarily love. Like I don't love the way that their notifications / quick settings look. Maybe if I switched it to the split view, it would look better. And not so much. It's way off to the side, and then I gotta swipe over. Like we're having text wrapping, but like why are you not just using all of the rest of your space? I don't understand. So yeah, there's still some things I don't love about ColorOS, but I think this is a good step in the right direction. The animations, like I mentioned, are really, really smooth. The scrolling feels incredibly smooth as well. I really like the categories in the app drawer. I think all of this looks very nice. I'm glad they didn't lean too heavily into the liquid glass thing. Some transparency, some frosted glass stuff, that's totally fine. But liquid glass is a bit too far for me in terms of readability, so good balance here. I do think that there's some potential here for the mind space thing to really be useful. They've talked about in the future being able to trigger Gemini and ask it questions about things in your mind space, and it will use that directly as context rather than having to open the app and then asking a question within that. I think that could really take it to another level. But I can imagine creating these collections and organizing ideas and different thoughts within this application. I think that's there's potential here. Obviously, this is just like a first impressions, right? I'm just kind of discovering these features, but those are my initial thoughts about ColorOS 16. If you have any thoughts you'd like to share, drop them in the comments down below, guys. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more content like this, and until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.